This could be bad. We are about to have 4 days in a row of severe weather, with the worst of it possibly coming on Easter Sunday. Not good. Now, what is each day going to look like? What are the main risks? And how will it all play out? I've got all that and more in your forecast starting now. Oh, this is my floor. Ding, ding. Now let's go ahead and get right to this risk. So this is the severe weather risk that we have for Thursday, April 17th. That's tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching this video. And just to preview what we have for the next 4 days, we've got a slight risk on Thursday. We've got a slight risk on Friday. We've got another slight risk on Saturday. We've got a fourth slight risk on Sunday. Now this day could be the most potent out of all of them, but we're gonna go day by day here, and let's go back to Thursday. Now for Thursday, some of the main cities that are gonna be at threat tomorrow is Hastings, Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, basically the entire state of Iowa, as well as the southern corner here of Minnesota, where some strong storms, maybe some supercells are all possible. Now, the tornado threat tomorrow isn't as high as you are normally accustomed to seeing. We only have this 2% risk out that goes from Kansas City all the way up to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, depending on how things trend tomorrow, I could see them upping the probabilities just a bit, but tomorrow does not look like a widespread tornado outbreak. And here's why. Without getting too technical, this is the discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. These are the best of severe weather forecast. And they're basically saying, okay, the wind profiles here, they're gonna lead to storms that generally undercut themselves, which is gonna likely limit the tornado threat into the evening. It seems like the main threats tomorrow are gonna be large hail and damaging winds with the risk for a tornado or two. So we're not completely ruling that out tomorrow, but it looks like the more widespread thing is gonna be hail and winds. Okay, so how's this thing gonna play out? This is Thursday morning. There likely could be some showers and storms down here in Missouri. That is just a precursor. That's an initial warm front that's gonna be lifting to the north. That's gonna pull a lot of warm, moist air out in front of the storm. Things are gonna remain quiet in Iowa and Nebraska for most of the day on Thursday. Things aren't gonna get kicked off until about right there. That's 7 p.m. Eastern, and look at this line of storms that fires in Nebraska, Minnesota, and Iowa. This is when we'll likely have the greatest tornado threat from about 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. as some of these storms just get going. As we go into the evening and overnight hours, those storms are going to slam their way off to the east and eventually start forming into a broken line here. And this is 10 p.m. Thursday night, going towards midnight. You can actually see they start to weaken overnight. So this will not be an overnight thing. The main window of concern for Thursday is going to be between 6 p.m. Eastern to about midnight. Having said that, the significant tornado parameter is pretty much off the charts here in southern Iowa and northern Missouri. This storm can kind of form and take root in that environment. That actually is a little concerning to me. So tornadoes are definitely possible tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk Friday here. This is Good Friday, April 18th. We have this massive area of a slight risk that goes from Texas all the way up through Detroit, Michigan. That is over 1,000 miles of slight risk. That includes cities like Oklahoma City, Springfield, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, and Detroit, Michigan. How's Friday gonna time out? Well, Friday morning, you're gonna have this low pressure system right here that's gonna be working its way to the north and east. And then by about 8 p.m., the low is gonna be up here in southern Wisconsin and into Minnesota, where it'll have a cold front draped right in there. And out in front of that front, you're gonna have warm, moist air coming up from the south. You're gonna have cold air wrapping around the backside. You could even have some snow in South Dakota. Right where that cold air and where that warm air clash, that is going to be your focal point for storm. So watch what happens here as we go into about 8, 9 p.m. Boom! There's one complex of storms that forms right along that front. And then going into Friday night, there's another complex that forms behind it. Likely what we're going to have is right along this front that goes from Chicago all the way down into Oklahoma and Texas. You're going to have storm after storm that tend to move over the same areas. And with that, you'll have damaging winds, hail, possibly a tornado. But notice how a lot of these storms, these are complexes of storms. These are a lot of storms that are together. When you get that, it sometimes can limit the tornado threat. So main threats for Friday are going to be wind, hail, possibly a few tornadoes as well. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up your mouse in your hand just like this, throw it in the air, grab it again, hit the subscribe button, and mash the like button. And leave a comment below. Look, someone's leaving a comment. This video is so cool. Wow. Back to you, Stormcat. All right, everyone take a deep breath. We're halfway through. This is Saturday. Got another risk outline that goes from basically southern Texas all the way through Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, including Columbus. You got cities like Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Little Rock, Arkansas, Dallas, Texas, Bowling Green, Kentucky, all in this risk for Saturday. Now, here's how the NAM says this is all going to play out. Because the storms on Friday likely will go well into the overnight hours, that could actually impact what happens on Saturday. Notice those storms really kind of continue going until about Saturday morning when they start to weaken and dissipate. And then a new batch of storms forms right around 5 to 8 to 9 p.m. right there, right along that front that kind of really stalls out as that low really pushed away and left it there. Now we have some cold air that's still trying to work its way down. We still have got warm, moist air coming up from the Gulf. Where those two clash, that'll be where the storms form Saturday. It looks like it could be Saturday evening into the overnight hours once again, just like Friday. This day actually could be the worst out of all of them. Easter Sunday, April 20th, where a tornado outbreak is possible. Of all the days that we've seen, Sunday looks like it could have the most potent conditions in place for an outbreak. I know the Easter bunnies and everyone celebrating Easter is not gonna be happy. I'm not either. I'm pissed. I'm royally pissed. But unfortunately, I can't control the weather. Maybe someday if we get enough members, but not today. Here's the reason why Sunday has my attention. I know I've shown this a couple of times, but this is the upper level, the 500 millibar level. So if you went way up in the atmosphere, measured the wind speeds, this is what you would get. And notice on Sunday, we've got this trough right in there. Notice the tilt of it. It's like that. Nope, like this. Sorry. That is a negatively tilted trough, and that is generally good for tornadoes. It helps the winds turn more as they go up with height, which helps storms rotate. And another thing that catches my eye is look at that red right in there. That is a strong jet stream. Red, that is very strong winds. The stronger the winds you have, the more likely tornadoes are. Looking at these two things combined, if this were to stay the way it is, Sunday could be a big day in Arkansas, Missouri, even in Texas and Louisiana. We'll have to keep a close eye on this as we get closer to the event. One thing I will say too, guys, is the GFS, which wasn't on board for Sunday, this was a couple of runs ago, check it out, is now getting back on board. Things are trending in the wrong direction, and Sunday could be a big day. I continue to show you this diagram because severe weather looks like it's going to continue to stick around the back half of April and into the first week of May, where supercells are possible. Guys, this would be good news for our Chasecation. Stormfront freaks are officially going chasing the first week of May. I'm hoping we at least get to see some good storms. I don't want any, destruction or damage. I'm hoping for a tornado in the middle of a field, maybe a cow dancing in the background or something. But no destruction. I don't want any of that. And guys, I'll definitely be live on Thursday. I'll possibly live on Friday. I'm going to be live on Reed's stream as well as my own stream here on YouTube. So make sure you check me out. Check me over on Reed's stream. I know they're going live tomorrow to cover the threat tomorrow and possibly into the weekend. One thing I will say though, guys, Sunday, unfortunately, is a big holiday for my family and I. So I will be spending Sunday with them. I will be spending Easter Sunday with them. And I'd encourage you guys to do the same. Go spend Easter Sunday with your family. All of our mods, everyone that normally watches our streams, take that day off and go spend it with your family. And thank you to all of our new viewers here. Some of these forecast videos that we've been getting have been getting record views. Oh, we're only at 700. But guys, we were like 80 a couple of months ago. So thank you to all the new people that are watching these videos. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. What you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. I'm all ears, like a big elephant. Lastly, guys, this is the cat vibes of the video. This cat is concerned. He's very concerned for the severe weather ahead. And if you do want to see your cat on this video, send me it on Twitter at stormcat5 with an underscore. Thank you for joining me today. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Stay safe from the severe weather. Find someone, tell them you love them, tell them you care about them. Do something nice for someone today. This is Stormcat5, and I'll see you on the next one.